What's up, guys? What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Mike Ahlers. Glad to be here. What's up, Sean?
My man, Michael Buttery Smooth Ahlers is in the house, folks. That's how that jumper used to go. Plus, he'd lock you down like he was running to prison.
That's right, baby.
I love it. So we have Mike Ahlers in the room tonight, kids. This is another special edition Kong Family Show. I didn't even expect this tonight, but hey, you know, we are the Kong family, and we're here to change the world, and we're doing it. And we jump in, and whenever we get the opportunity to be able to share this with the world, we do it. And so whenever we get somebody that wants to come in and talk about the water, wants to talk about the stuff that this has to do with fitness and whatever else,
health and wellness,
we're here to make it happen. And so here we are tonight with a special episode that we didn't even really know was going to happen, but we are recording. And my brother Sean Wetzel, you guys all know my brother Sean. He's my Kong brother, and I love him dearly. And anytime he wants to bring friends in or anybody that can add some more value to what we're doing, I'm all over it. Like stink.
Truth seekers are uniting.
So we are.
That's it. Truth
Sean,
seekers are uniting.
Brother here?
Listen, man, it's funny, man, because I missed this cat by a year. At both of our experiences at the University of Montana, got to see him play my senior year. Yeah, man, it was cool, and just know a lot of mutual guys. Got reconnected over the last couple of years on Facebook. You know, the sweet tool that is, just reconnecting with cats. And yeah, he's got a real solid little program he's got going. He's out of San Antonio now by way of Tacoma, Washington.
Yes, sir.
I never dropped on you that I rocked Auburn for about 2 years.
What?
I was down there. Yeah, all kinds of, Tacoma, kind of dating a Puyallup girl, good long, lanky, long-haired sister, not characteristic. A lot of those coastal tribes are a little smaller, But I think she was Quinault or something. Quinault, just down the road from you guys. Okay. Nevertheless, yeah, man. Mike, you got your easy physique scene going on. Maybe you could talk to some of your people. I don't know if you want to bring that to the table right now tonight on this whole endeavor. You could host a watch party, something to that effect. But yeah, it'd be cool to get some of your people on the scene.
I think I'm sharing it right now on my page. So
yeah, cool and the gang. Hey, that's all we're talking about, guys. Mike and I never had the privilege to play together, but it's getting eminently realistic that we're about to start throwing each other dimes and trapping cats in the corners at the half court, getting steals and just going to the hole. And obviously my man J. John Hornacek, Hall of Famer, surprise, is going to be right here, driving the bus, man. So, yeah, really glad to have you on board. Really glad to have you here. We've done some talking over the last several months now, and, yeah, we'll get to that. Do us a favor, man, and kind of give us a taste of what you got going on down in San Antonio and, what your mission is, what your purpose is, and where you're at this stage in life with respect to, your ups and downs. And you kind of talked earlier, you elaborated to me and your people about what you kind of just woke up one day and were like, good Lord, I got to get right again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some of that with us. So go ahead, man, please.
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to say thanks, guys, for having me on. It just kind of came out of nowhere, but it is truly my passion. And I'll say that there are a lot of things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about my family, other things, but I can't say that I was always passionate in my business. And now health and wellness is my passion because it makes a difference. And what you guys are doing in the water scene, what Kangen and Enagic brings to the world for health is phenomenal. 100% passionate about all that. And I know that those little things, you guys are already on the bandwagon on this, but anything that you do, especially on the water and health and wellness, man, you can be adding another day, week, years to somebody's life. And that means they get to be
Amen.
around for their family, man. And I'm all about that. I'm all about that. So you talked about you asked me about my story. And so what happened was, we're now in 2020 barely, but I had let myself go basically. You know, I'm 6'3", 6'4". I got up to about 242 pounds. Just real busy with business. I'm an entrepreneur. Family. I was coaching my son in basketball. This was in 2016. And stuff was just getting out of hand. You know, I was just eating every burger that could be found, pizza, you know, all the good food, man. And and I was on the road in Alabama in 2017, November. And long story short, I had a heart attack. I never in a million years thought that would happen to me. Now, thankfully, thank God.
Mike, can I stop you real quick? Just
yes.
I want to ask you a question there. You were on the road in Alabama, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, you had a heart attack. How old were you at that point?
So I'm 54 now. I'll be 55 in March. That was 2 years. So I was 52 when that happened.
52.
And I know I kind of glazed over because it's not the happiest of subjects for me. But
right. I was context 52. Established.
Yeah. So I was 52, and you know I hadn't been working out. I hadn't been eating right. My family, my wife would always say, "Honey, I'm getting worried. You really have to start doing something with your health." I would come home and I would just almost go straight to bed and just watch like freaking Ancient Aliens all night, you know, watching TV. And
uninspired, kind of having a hard time making that transition.
You know, all of that. You know, in all honesty, I'll tell you that I was dealing with a bunch of stuff, man. The year before, I lost my baby brother, my really good friend. Lost him. He died. He had a stroke. He had high blood pressure. He wasn't taking care of his health. Really, really tough time for me. He lived in Germany at the time. He has two young girls that are, you know, they're now I think 7 and 5. So they were 5 and 3 then. There was, you know, a lot of stuff behind that. And then after that, in June, that was in April, May, June, my mom had a stroke. She ended up in a nursing home. Long road of recovery, another long story, another really hard time for me. She passed away in November of that year, same year. Had a bunch of tough stuff going on with business. That was 2017, man. And so actually I take it back. That was 2016. And then in 2017, I had stuff going on with business. And in November of 2017, that's when I had my heart attack. So I was dealing with so much. I was depressed, had severe anxiety, was closed off, wasn't really talking to anybody, you know. So my health was crap, eating junk, you know, it was just a bunch of bad stuff going on. But
you sounded like you're about half numb to a lot of that stuff, just trying to process it. And
I would just one day after that, just felt like I was just hanging on, you know, just hanging in there. And, you know, I have a great family, man. We homeschool. You know, I see my kids all, yeah, baby, gorilla. I love it. So, you know, hey guys, I'm not trying to be a downer. We're going to get through this.
No, we are. No, he's just a big fan of homeschooling education. So you just tickled his fancy and excited his soul like Jermaine Jackson.
Yeah, I was the head coach of our team here. We were nationally ranked. We did a lot of stuff. It was a great experience. So I know I'm talking about all the negative stuff. I did have a lot of positive stuff going on in my life, but I just had these things that were happening in my family and business that was just dragging me down. And then on top of it, I wasn't taking care of my health. I was doing all I could to provide for the family, you know, and do all of that. So I found myself in this hospital in Alabama on a hospital bed. And long story short, they ran a catheter up my right arm into my heart and installed 2 stents. So, you know, all that being said, I feel great. But all that, and I'm gonna say this because that was a lot of negative crap going on. But I'll tell you, it does say be thankful in all things. And as I was going through that, I couldn't find really the reason to be thankful in the things I was going through. But as I sit here today,
you're here,
brothers, I am thankful that God chose me to go through those experiences, because now I have the passion and now I can share with other people that might not be woke, that might not be awake, that might be bullshitting with their health.
Right. No, and that's a lot of us, man. And that's why we're here. That's what we're trying to do, man. We got woke, and it took J. John about 6 months of just giving people grief and get off me. I am rah, you know. I was like, okay, I'll drink it. Give it to me. I'll just pound it. You know, we had our own deals, but that's it.
Yeah.
We're just trying to now share the woke.
So let me take it to where we are today. So through that process, as I lay in the hospital bed, I felt like, you know what, if I said, Lord, if this is my time, I'm ready. You know, I really felt at peace about it. I thought about my wife, and I felt, you know, I did feel sad about that, but I knew she'd be okay. The tough part was when I thought about my kids.
Yeah.
Still a little tough to talk about it today, but that was tough. And I want to, anybody seeing this, I want to wake you up to that. If you've got kids and a family, man, it's that important, because your kids and your family need you. So I made some decisions, and I took action, and I decided I was not going to be that guy. If I had a second lease, a second chance, I was going to do something about it. So I went from where I was, 242 pounds, and I started stair-stepping down. Initially, I started off with the keto diet, and it kind of got me down to about 225, 215-ish in that range. And I got to the place where I said, you know, I don't want to eat like that the rest of my life. It worked, but I didn't like the way I looked. I still didn't feel good about my health. And I like fruit, you know. Yeah. Not hating on the keto diet at all, but I'm just telling for me. So I said, you know, I'm going to do something about this. And I came up with some non-negotiables. And I said, I had this goal. I want to get to where I'm lean.
Right.
First non-negotiable was I'm going to eat the foods I like. I'm going to eat healthy, but I'm also, if I want a burger or pizza, I'm going to eat that. Second thing was, I'm not going to be in the gym 7 days a week, 5 days a week, working out 2 hours a day. I'm just not going to do it. I've done all that, right? And I didn't want to do it. I had too many other things going on. The third thing was I was also not going to be jumping around like a monkey, you know, doing all these crazy like CrossFit work. Not hating against CrossFit. I think it's great. It is great.
Options.
Just not for me, you know. So I had these things, and I didn't want to be doing hours and hours and hours of cardio. So I said, with those things being said, I got to figure this out. And one thing that I noticed was, I always thought about Europeans. I'm half German. I was born in Germany. My mom's German.
Right.
And
I got about 45 machines in Germany. For the
hey, so here's the deal. When you go to Europe, there's King Kong down there. I love it. When you go to Europe, you know, you see the Europeans, they're all slim, man.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fatties in Europe, you know. And what I noticed is they're all active. You know, they're either riding bikes or walking. They eat their meals together. They prepare their meals, not a lot of fast food. And they don't necessarily, not everybody has a Gold's membership or, you know, the top of the line gym membership. So I said to myself, you know, there's got to be, and I always knew that the Mediterranean diet was always what I thought. If I was going to go to a diet and call it and have a diet, it would be that. Studies have just now proven that the Mediterranean diet is the number one, the best diet in the world.
Yes.
Even though I don't really follow a traditional, I do that, but not. Anyway, I don't want to digress. So on my journey, I started doing those things, and here's what I found. I work out twice a week to this day. I do upper body one day and then lower body the other day. And each time I work out, it's no more than 45 minutes. I eat the foods I like. I've posted many videos. I'm eating pizza, burger, whatever. And long story short, check it out. I went from 242, right now I weigh about a 182. I've got abs. I'm probably about 10% body fat as we sit right now. So what happened was, through that process, there was a day, and it was probably June, July, August, maybe August of last year, July, August, September, maybe September, October. I posted on Facebook, so thankful to be able to spend time with my family. I showed a before picture and an after picture. The second I posted that picture, I started getting blown up on my phone. I started getting blown up on Messenger. Mike, what are you doing? Show me that. I have to do it. And so that kind of started. So what I did was, I didn't even have a name. I started showing people my program, and I told them it was easy, and that's where I got that from. Easy Physique. It was not only was it easy, it is easy. Wasn't there? Don't get it twisted. There's a little work involved, but there's none of this confusion. I was so confused over, hey, as an athlete, I was always lean. So when I got to be a fatty and I was clinically obese, I didn't know how to get back. All I knew was go in the gym and go crazy. And I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to do that. So that's how I came up with my program, which is called Easy Physique, E-Z, and then the word physique. And so right now, that's something I'm super passionate about. I do work with women, but most of the people I work with are guys. They happen to be busy dads that were played athletics at some point in their life, either high school, college. And so that's what's brought me. That's why I'm thankful today, because I'm able to take those experiences that I went through and help other people like me, have more time with their family and hopefully not have to go through the things that I went through. So anyway, thanks for letting me share that, because that's what I'm about. And so my background has always been like consulting, businesses and stuff. I still do that. So I've got a couple of companies, but my big passion is what we're talking about right now. And Sean, I'm so glad that you and I ran into each other, because the water part of my program, although I was drinking water, I was either drinking San Antonio tap water or the occasional Fiji, Dasani, maybe Essentia, which I thought Essentia, man, I'm the man, I'm drinking Essentia, Right. So, but
how much that cost by the case, Michael?
Drop that on a lot. Folks. I don't even remember, but I was buying the big bottles by a case, right. And I was going through those pretty quickly, me and my wife and family. And, just Sean, you've been so instrumental in educating me, brother. I just want to thank you, because, stuff like learning all the small microparticles that are in bottled waters right now, learning about the arsenic. I just saw that article you posted. It's just, it's mind blowing. And the sad thing is, a lot of us that are drinking the bottled water, we think we're drinking the best water, and it's still missing the mark, which can be just as dangerous, which means, you'll drink that forever, think you're drinking great water, when in reality you're not. So bro, thank you for that, man.
No, you're beautiful. And you jumped on it, man. You were just ahead of me a dime. I was going to tell Jay John, and dig this, brother, all this stuff he did. He went from being Mr. Thickness, where I can get a little bloatable from time to time too, man, and I don't like it, man. I'm breathing like a stuck pig, all that. But he went through all that without condom. So, within the last, been about a month and a half now, man. I sent it like early December. My man has been dialed in with this and crushing it, and just to kind of give you a foundation of kind of where he's come. When we started talking, there was a lot of questions, and I asked him, about Penta, Essentia, and these things. We figured out what the ingredients were on the back. We talked about, sodium bicarbonate, and just Googling the long-term effects that has negatively on the body. Magnesium chloride or magnesium sulfate in Dasani, the potassium chloride, all these, hack minerals, these fake mineral additives that are more destructive than helpful. So yeah, you were drinking all that water. And at the end of the day, what I wanted to ask you was, did you still feel like, you weren't drinking enough water? Or how did it make you feel? Let me ask you this. When you were trying to work out with a gut full of Penta or any of that stuff, does your gut feel sloshy? Did it feel swole?
It's so funny because sometimes in life with things, you don't know what you're missing, or you don't know what's going on until you have something different. Almost like a relationship. Before I met my wife, I thought, oh man, this girl's the bee's knees or whatever. Then I met my wife. I'm like, I didn't know I was missing that. This girl's great. Right. So with the water, I don't know that I missed anything, but the one thing I noticed right off the bat, me and my middle son as well, it's like, man, this water tastes like smooth and buttery, And I felt like it actually quenched my thirst, which is weird. I never thought about that, but when I drink other water, like even if I just drink out of the water, the water fountain here, I notice a difference big time. I could drink that water like forever and ever and ever and feel like I still need to drink more water. Word. With the Kangen water, it's a quenching, I don't know how else to put it, smooth, buttery thing, and it tastes good. So much to the point, my son's always like, hey, I always hear Kangen water 9.5. Kangen, it's like going off all day, man, because the guy's there knocking it back. So
he's in there refilling it like life depends on it.
Mike, do you have your machine? You actually have a machine, or have you been? Oh, you've been using a loaner from Sean.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's right. So in full disclosure, Sean, my man, so cool to send me the loaner to test it out. And I'm not even exaggerating. My family, we all try to see who can imitate the lady's voice. Kangen water 9.5. I mean, we're all doing that.
That's it, man.
My sweetie, Tina's going to love this, Sean, because she says, we were talking about this the other day, and she swears up and down that Kong is a girl, not a boy. And I was like,
yes.
What? She goes, hey, what do you mean? That little voice that's in the machine, that's a girl's voice. That's not a boy's voice. She's a girl. I go, you know what? I got to roll with you on that one. Yep, Kong is a girl.
That's it. And just like the woman, the girl, gave birth to meatheads like us, Kangen water is giving people the birth to true health and wellness. Got to keep my man on the reins sometimes, because he'll get busting down the track. He'll get busted loose like Young MC. No, that's awesome. That's one of the things you go through. Then you try learning it in Spanish when you get the platinum or the K8. And then it's German. I'll turn on the German function for you. Sie sprechen Sie Deutsch, and it's awesome. And it's all does that. It is crazy. She tries to speak with the German accent and everything, man.
Nice.
And I think it's the same recording. It's the same sister that they dubbed, or however they do that. But yeah, there's Italian on my P5. There's Italian, Spanish, German, English, and French. And then on the K8, I think they got K8's got Japanese obviously on it, J. John, but what else? Is it I
don't know.
Cantonese or Mandarin or something like that?
Any of the other languages. So,
I do.
I might have to start playing around with that just for the fun of it.
Yeah. And then she can talk like that to you in another language, and you can kind of get after it.
Yeah.
So, Mike, back. I apologize. I kind of screwed everything up there because that was just hilarious to me, and I had to jump in there. But so
you're good,
the kids are using it. Your family's totally digging it, and yeah, continue on, man.
Well, so one of the things that it didn't hit me, because you get the machine, it's got all these cool buttons. It's like Christmas. You want to turn off the lights in dark and see all the cool lights and things going on. But it didn't dawn on me till I started, Sean and I were talking, and I started realizing all the multiple uses where you can use it for beauty, for your skin, for mouthwash, for, replacing Clorox, household cleaners. And so that kind of blew my mind, because then I started thinking of all the money that we're spending on all those other things, those cleaners and mouthwash, everything, on how that could save from that. And I personally have this my wife is like Miss Clean. Like, she'll be cleaning the counters. I'm sitting there eating dinner and she's spraying the counter. Hope she doesn't watch this, but she's spraying the counter with Clorox. I'm like, baby, I can't stand that smell. Stop spraying Clorox when I eat, or period. I hate it. I'm always trying to throw the stuff away. This is before Sean educated me on all that. And so that was
picking up on any of that? Have you
is.
been able to make any 11.5 and 2.5 yet? Have you rocked that?
Yes. Yeah, we did. After that, the other day when we talked. So it's really expanded my mind, because I'm a numbers guy, and I start looking at, if I invest in the machine, which I will, what am I replacing? And man, it's a no-brainer. When you talk about being able to eliminate all the household cleaners, being able to use it for your laundry, and the amount of water that our family drinks, we drink a ton of water, man.
Yeah.
It really is a no-brainer. And then I'm getting away from all those, the plastic in the water, in the plastic bottles, getting more. You and I talked earlier. I don't want to steal your thunder, but that was other than drinking it. Once I settled into that and got past the cool Kangen water 9.5 thing, it opened my mind to, wait a minute, I can replace all this stuff with this machine and have different levels of pH water. I mean, that's when it hooked me right then.
Right. No, and that's cool. And that's the idea. That's why being blessed and able to send you a loaner is just like letting you test drive this ride before you, decide you want to buy it. So I've sent you the Rolls Royce of alkalized, ionized, hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated water technology for 25, 30 plus year average, and you now know you want the same ride. And that's the beauty of being able to do that. But again, man, it's like throwing a pass. I've thrown so many passes to people and they won't put their hands up. No, they're not putting their hands up. So you're wrapping them upside the back of their head, and then they're mad at you because they weren't looking. I'm like, I'm coming. I'm talking about it. Here, catch it, drink it. And you come to the realization that you can't wake up people that want to stay asleep, man. And so no matter how much you care about them, whatever, you've just got to keep looking to throw dimes to people that are willing to stick their hands up and give me some of that Jerry Rice type fingers, man.
Yeah. Sean, can you break down? So right before this call, I was talking about water. I just did a live where I just talked about water because I hadn't really thought about it. But in my program, Easy Physique, I realized that how integral water was in my program. In our refrigerator, we have nothing to drink other than water or milk. And the milk is either almond milk, which is what I drink. And then we have regular, like the Mootopia kind of milk, that stuff. But then we were talking about earlier today, you and I were talking about the water. And I want you to, if you could talk about, I guess if you could jump to the hydrogen part of it, and then maybe dovetail it with the pH stuff. I think a lot of people are kind of getting the pH in their mind and understand what that's about, but the hydrogen, I didn't get it. I didn't understand that, but go ahead.
No, Word, J. John, feel free to interject at any point in time now, because again, we're getting into your wheelhouse as well.
I'd love to talk about this because this is the thing. People talk about this water and they talk about alkaline water. And from what I understand and what I've learned over the last year and a half, really, last year and a half, going on 2 years, that I've actually been digging into this stuff and really trying to learn. What I've learned is that the alkalinity is a byproduct. It's like the least important part of this water. The most important part, as we are steadily learning from our brother, the Voltinator, And from our other brother, the samurai, is that it's the electricity. It's the electricity, it's the hydrogen, and it's the hydration that is so important to our machine. This thing right here, this is a machine. People don't understand this, and they need to start learning this concept that this thing right here is a machine, and it runs on 120 millivolts of electricity and hydrogen. And if you give your machine, it's just like your truck. I love to tell people this: your truck or your car, it runs on 12 volts and gasoline, or 12 volts and diesel. And if you don't give it 12 volts and you don't give it gasoline or diesel, how far does it go? And you know, if you don't change the oil, how far does it go? How long does it last? That kind of thing, right? And so the hydrogen and the electricity and the hydration, that's the oil. You know, you've got the electricity, you got the fuel, you got the oil, and then in the end, with the alkalinity, you've got like the superficial stuff that's around the outside that kind of takes care of things on its own. You know, that's all your little components and things like that. But there's so much talk in this industry about alkaline water and how alkaline water is bad for you or it's good for you or whatever, you know, but the alkalinity is like a byproduct of the first three parts of that equation. And so I love trying to bring that to people's attention and get them to realize that, you know, this is different. Like Dr. Michael says, this is an electrical creation, electrical component, versus the other side of it, alkaline water. It's a chemical reaction. This is an electrical reaction, and we need electrical. Like Ian said yesterday, we are electrical beings.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense that we drink electrical water?
That's right. I dropped that on Mike today, man.
You did.
You know, and that's the thing, J. John, and that's what I was going to say. So everything you're talking about, building the foundation on all of that, is really built on the electricity and the hydrogen. And what I was talking with Mike about today was that's the ultimate biohack for anybody's health, really. And while you're doing that, you're supremely hydrating your body 6.5 times more efficiently, according to Shan Stratton, you know, nationally, worldly recognized sports and hydration and nutrition specialist for NHL, NBA. I mean, this guy's on board with this too. So we've got a guy his caliber, and he's talking about supreme hydration at a level that, you know, if we're overly acidic, we're only going to get about 15. The average person only absorbs about 15% of whatever they're eating nutritionally. Okay.
Wow.
But when you start to put Kangen water into the scene, he said it's gone up to about 85-90% absorption rate. So those vitamins you're taking, the money people are spending. Okay, so we get the dieters, we get the people thinking of powder, some whatever supplemental pill. I don't mean drugs,
Yeah.
like pharmaceutical stuff. They're taking that stuff for naught, and a lot of times it, you know, again, it's not cheap. So if you're not able to effectively utilize it, you're pissing or shatting out the rest. You know, so with this, you're getting that biohack, that foundational electricity and hydrogen. It's like we were talking earlier. We're born 93% water, and we 7.365 is the ideal pH. So, you know, 7.2 to 7.4 is the ideal pH that we're pretty much born with, unless something's wrong. Then we die of old age or disease. We're under 50% water, and we're under 5 from what I've understood. So, you know, when you go from a pH scale, you know, 7 to 6, it's like a logarithm or algorithm. I'm not sure what it is, but 7 to 6 is 10 times.
Yeah.
7 to 5 is 100 times, and 7 to 4 would be 1,000 times. You know, so when you go 7.4, say, down to under 5, you know, you're losing 500 times hydrogen you were born with over the course of your life. and you're going from 93% water, drinking all the stuff we're drinking, wine, beer, soda, Red Bulls, bottled water, all this stuff, we're still dying of dehydration at the end of it all, because that's where it manifests, and it's all acidosis. We're overly acidic.
You know,
we're drying out.
I want to, Sean, sorry to interrupt, but I want to,
No, you're good.
because earlier when I did my live before this and I talked about water, I missed that point, is that Kangen water is electrical water, the way they create the pH balance.
Living.
Bottled water is through adding sodium bicarbonate. You told me
Right.
that. And so I never knew that. And I know most people are unaware of that,
I didn't either.
which is crazy. But then I also want you to talk about the hydrogen part of it, because that's something we had a real cool conversation earlier. We were talking about the hydrogen, like the water bubbling and cracking, right?
Yeah. Did you do that? Did you try it?
I did, man. It's
That's
crazy.
bad
It's
to the bone, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because and the thing about that, when it's doing that, you're like, man, this water. In my mind, I was like, this water is alive.
It's electric. No, that's it, man. It's living water. And then you get into the word. There's a few scripture.
Got to show you this,
Knowledge.
Mike. You got to see this. And I don't know. I might need to switch over the view so that people can actually see this. But here's my loaner machine. This is my SD501.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna bop over here and switch to gallery view so that you guys can maybe see.
Yeah,
this.
the hydrogen thing is like that blew my mind, and I know people don't know about that. That's not in any bottled water you're going to buy at the store. I can tell you.
It's not.
And
Listen, let me drop something else on bottled water. Get it ready, Jay John. Yeah. But let me tell you this about bottled water real quick. 18 to 24 months domestically, you're going to have bottled water sitting in that from the time it's filled and capped to the time we crack it. Not to mention all the transportation and the hot and the cold and the subpar plastics with the bisphenol A. This whole gender bending is almost intentionally accidental. When we're already knowing what we know about all that, and then you got teenage boys drawing boobs and stuff. It's not normal, but a lot of it's a byproduct of what the heck we're doing.
Yeah.
So then if it's overseas water, if it's imported water, it's 24 to 36 months that it's been sitting in that bottle. So no matter what spring it was poured from, that spring's done sprung 1.5 to 3 years later. So then the miracle of this comes out, and go ahead, Jay John, you gonna rock it like Herbie Hancock and show us a little of that?
Can you see how this end of this tip is distorted?
Yeah, it looks like it kind of got melted. Is that from a lighter, maybe?
That is from me lighting the water. And Tina got mad at me. She's like, "Sweetie, you gotta quit doing that. You melted down." And I'm like, What are you talking about? And I go over and look at the thing, and sure enough, I have been lighting. I've been doing all these demos and showing people how the water fires up, because I've always told people that this really ought to be all you need to see to understand why you need this water. It ought to be. It won't be. I'm telling you right now, this won't be, but it should be. This should be all you need to see to understand why you need this in your body. And I'd take my lighter and I'd stick it to that water and be like,
yeah.
And it ended up melting the tip of my tip. And my buddy Tim, he goes, "You can get a new hose." I go, "I don't want a new hose. That's Kong's war wounds."
I melt my SD501 tip.
That's funny. Hey, so for people that are on my page watching, just so you know, what we're talking about is Kangen water has hydrogen in it. And I'll let Sean or Jay John explain why that's so important. But the water, it's what they're talking about is holding a lighter to the water. Because the hydrogen is in it, it actually kicks off little sparks. So it's proof that there's hydrogen in it, and that hydrogen is getting in your body. And there is no other bottled water no bottled water that you're going to buy that has hydrogen in it. And that's why it's so powerful for your body. So I do want to ask if one of you guys could talk about what hydrogen does for your body and why that's so important.
Well, and it's funny because the Molecular Hydrogen Institute has been kind of a byproduct of Kangen's presence initially onto the scene here. And it took this kid from Idaho Falls that really started digging into this and trying to figure out, well, what is it? And again, it's the essence of hydrogen. If we're born, if by the time we're born to the time we die, we're losing over almost 50% of our water and almost 500 times hydrogen, then we're just dying of dehydration and our millivoltage is down in the tank. That's it. We're electrical beings. Hydrogen is a part of that electricity, and it's the foundation of that. They commingle. They're one and the same in essence. So that's all we're basically dealing with. And if we're not, we can eat all the keto, we can do all the stuff we want to do. We can diet, but if we're still dehydrated and our millivoltage is still low and we're dragging and we're just lethargic and we don't want to do anything other than kick up the ottoman and sit back in your chair and crack open a Ham's beer and, a bag of chips. Ham's beer, that was old school. But, that's it. So at the end of the day, we're hydrogen-based beings. And what we have with this water, and again, it's the foundation. Anything else we want to do nutritionally, supplementally, eating better, all that. If you're not doing it with Kangen water as a foundation, you're like the foolish man in Scripture building his house upon the sand,
Yeah.
The wind came down and rain came down and floods came up and all that. Well, the house that was built on the rock stuck around. So metaphorically, scripturally, however you want to identify with that, that's what Kangen is in terms of true health and wellness. And what's funny is in Japan, it's a medical device over there. Not in the United States. It's a health and wellness technology.
Talk about that, Sean, why it's medical, because I know talk about the medical uses of that machine. Again, guys, I was thinking I'm just getting this thing to drink water, but it has all these other medical uses in Japan as a medical device.
Again, they're just using them in hospitals.
Real quick, Sean, before we move on to the medical device side of things,
in Japan,
I'd like to expand on the hydrogen just for a second. This water, this is really important for people to realize that H2O, this was one of the biggest things that once I learned this, it was an amazing shock for me and my brain cell. And Mike, you're not aware of this, but I only have one brain cell. Everybody else has trillions of them. I only have one. But for my brain cell, when I came to the understanding that H2O, perfectly clean, perfectly clear, no toxins, no poisons, nothing in it. It is poison to the human body. I call it life's great conundrum, because on this hand over here, you have to have it. You can go like maybe 3 or 4 days without H2O, and if you're not dead, you're wishing to God you were dead. You're praying that you'll die if you don't have it, right? On one hand. On the other hand, it is a very slow, acidic poison that is causing your body to do what's called catabolize itself. Catabolization means eating yourself. Cannibalization, that's where you go and eat other people. You don't want to do that. And you don't even want to eat yourself either. You don't want to eat yourself. You don't want to eat other people. It's really bad eating, right? But that's what H2O does to the body. It's referred to as the universal solvent for a reason. It's acid. It is acid. You take water, you take perfectly clean, perfectly clear water, which you can get from a reverse osmosis unit. A reverse osmosis unit gives you perfectly clean, perfectly clear water. It's taking everything out of it, and all that's left is the H2O. That's all. And you put pH drops in that, and you will see something that is acid. It's literally just barely above battery acid on the pH scale.
Wow.
And so
and they've convinced us for a couple.
And I was going to
ask
ask you what the difference is between the Kangen machine and like you go get a Culligan water machine or whatever, because we had that before where we synced it up to our sink for the RO water.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is electricity. You know, we call this thing, we love to call this on our show that we love to say this is a lightning bolt in a box. And that's how we're changing the world is one glass of 9.51 hydrogen rich, oxygen saturated, incredibly hydrating, 9.5 at a time, one lightning bolt in a box at a time. Because that's what this thing is. It is literally hitting this water with a lightning bolt. It's 2.5 amps that it's hitting it with, and that is literally like a lightning bolt. And interestingly enough, one of the places that you'll find this kind of water out in nature is when a lake gets hit by a lightning bolt.
Wow.
It gets hit by a lightning bolt, and it literally electrolyzes the water for a day or two, and you could go drink that water and it'd be really good for you. Or you could stick an ORP meter in it, and it would have a negative electrical charge. But you can take water, you know, back to the whole thing about water. It's literally poison to the human body, but it's very slow poison. And so when I say that to people, they're like, poison? What do you mean? I guzzle it all day long and I don't die. It's different. It's very slow. It's a very slow acidic poison that causes your body to eat itself over time. The same way an apple, if you take an apple and slice it in half and lay it on your countertop, you will watch that apple eat itself over a period of time. You'll see it literally like go away and like crumble up into nothing and be gone. And so that's the same thing that's happening to our bodies. That's why this.
So explain the H2. Okay, explain the hydroxyl ion part of it.
Yeah. So exactly.
Like, or glacier water. There's a place in Nordenau, Germany, Mike. You go into these caves, and it's generationally acclaimed for people that'll walk way down into these caves and fill up their jugs and get out of Dodge. There's the Lourdes in France for any Catholics in the house. I mean, I always just thought it was holy water. I'd never understood the whole later on to really what it meant, and it was blessed water because the pH is 8.59, and the antioxidant stuff is pretty straight right out of the spring. Glacier water, the Hunza people up in the Himalayas, Pakistani people, their stuff has got so much hydrogen it almost looks milky. So that's at the end of the day, that's not H2O. It's H2 negative OH or a negative OH, hydroxyl ion. And that's the ultimate biohack that I was talking about. That's the charge. That's what's lighting us from the inside out. You told me yourself, you old lockdown all-star. You start drinking this and you all start feeling like you want to start locking up Daryl Green or Tony Reed out there on the point, right? Right?
Man. I'll tell you this real quick. So, Sean, I told you earlier, so I'm just coming out of the flu, and I'm telling you, there's 2 or 3 nights I went to sleep with jeans, shoes, a leather jacket, under the blanket, freezing, and then I sweated to death like crazy. And I would wake up and I swear I felt like I couldn't even walk. I had no energy, like I don't know. It's just, like when you're gassed, like if you go run like an 800 all out and you get done and you have the bear on your back and you can't even move. That's how I felt. Well, I kept downing the water like crazy, and I barely ate. Like I was probably eating less than 1,000 calories every day. One day I probably had maybe 500. And I got so bored and tired of just laying around. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go and get a quick workout. So I went in and I said, I'm going to be in and out in like 10 minutes, like one set on everything. This is upper body. And when I train upper body, I do chest, back, shoulders, bis, and tris in that order. I went in there and I also felt like I'm going to be probably about 30-40% strength. Now, knowing I was going to do that, I was down in the water like crazy. And that all day, I went in there, guys, this is no exaggeration. My strength didn't dip at all. It was exactly where it was before. I did a full workout and hadn't eaten all day, except for maybe about 500 calories. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I told my wife, I said, baby, I thought I was just going to go in there for 10 minutes and be done, but I had the most amazing workout. Yeah. And then after that, I was able to eat, and I didn't feel tired, like lethargic like I did before, but I'm telling you, I did that full workout all out, went home, had I always eat this big smoothie afterwards with like almond milk, 3 cups of strawberries, banana, peanut butter, protein powder, chia seeds, all that stuff, about 1,000 calories, right? Knocked it back. And I was like, I can't believe how good I feel right now. And I remembered that. I said, it's got to be Kangen water. I felt so energized and pumped in my workout, which was with the flu. Like,
and again, and that's it. And that's it. And so at the end of the day, that's why you're so beautiful. At least you're willing. A lot of people don't know how to think critically anymore. If someone ain't telling them how to think, they have a hard time making those connections. And you're out there again. A lot of times one of our hashtags is Truth Seekers Unite. And all you're doing is being able to, you're giving a testimony to obviously your physical state of disrepair, your energy state of disrepair, your motivation state of disrepair, yet you go in there and pop out this, full workout, come home, kick a smoothie down, and you're feeling like you're standing on the top like the Temptations, right? I mean, that's got to be the water. It's the only difference that you did.
Yeah, it has to be, because the energy that I had freaked me out. Like I was like, I'm going to kill this workout, man. I feel great. And I felt, and I'm not even kidding, man, like before I worked out, I felt like I was barely walking like a zombie in there. And once I got in there, I said, all right, let's go. And I just planned on doing 1 set on everything. So I did my first set on chest. I was like, hey, not bad. And I said, you know what, let's just go for it. I just went for it, and I didn't slow down. And I knew once I thought about it, I said, this is so weird that I have all this energy and I have a pump and I'm hungry, because before I had no appetite whatsoever. And that day was when I started getting better, when I started coming out of having a flu. And I had major congestion in my lungs, coughing. I still had that, but I felt better, and I felt, and the only word I can really use is energized. And I know where that energy came from. It came from the energy, electric water.
Right. And again, that's to best answer that hydrogen question. What's hydrogen all about? What's all that mean? That you just pretty much summarize through your experience what that really means. It means your body starts to do things that we've kind of, especially at different stages of our lives. I know you're just in your early 50s. I'm 50 in January. We're starting to or at the end of the month, I should say. We're in January. But we're starting to deal with that transitional kind of phase of just, how do we do it? And to be able to have something like this at the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer. I never would have eaten a smoothie. And see, I don't put any powder enough, and I'll use like kale or spinach or greens that I never would have done before. Throw a banana, some chia, flax, some almonds, some pumpkin seeds, coconut shavings, blend it 9.5, right? And then I throw in frozen blueberries, mango, strawberry, pineapple, whatever I got. And that's what chills it. And I'm killing it. I never would have ate that stuff in my life, man. I'm from the res. Commodity cheese, beef stew, even commodity grape juice was awesome. But I have to tell you, the sugar content in that stuff is probably a big part of why so many people got diabetes up and in this country. I'm telling you. But
so Mike, I've got a question for you. Because you've been using the Sean's loaner machine for a period of time. Bless your heart, Sean, getting him a loaner machine. That's, this is one of the reasons why people are part of the Kahn family. They should get a loaner machine so that they can help other people, like what's taking place right here. What I'm curious about, Mike, because we've heard here over the last hour that you know, you're pretty well sold on this whole situation. You've definitely come to see the benefits of it, and certainly have more to learn, as we all do. We're on a constant learning mission all the time to try and figure out what this is all about, and you know, be able to share this information with everybody to the best of our ability, so we can change the world, starting with our own, of course.
Right.
But what I'm curious about, that I'd love to have you, you know, share this with the people that are going to get to see this, because quite frankly, I think this is going to be a really powerful episode of the Kong Family Show. And we're going to, you know, we're going to be getting this out for people to see. And what I'm curious about is what are your plans from here on out? And, you know, what are you going to do to get Kong into your life? What are you going to do? You know, what are your plans, and what would you like suggest to other people that are seeing this, that are hearing your story, that are hearing all the things we're saying? You know, what are you going to do with this, and what would you recommend or suggest or implore or pray for other people that they might do, so that they can get the same kind of benefits that you've gotten over this last month as you've been utilizing Kong and water? Where are you going from here? That's what I
was wondering where you were going, but you wrapped it up and tied it in nicely.
Hey, John, man. It's a long question, but it's a great one. So, yeah, so I'll tell you this. So if you felt the truth behind what we're saying, if you felt the love behind what I'm saying, if you got the faith, don't even hesitate. Call my man Sean and get a freaking machine. If you don't, if you're in a place where I got to do a little more research and all that kind of stuff, do your research. But I'll tell you, for me, this is the way I think about it. Okay. Remember, for those of you that have just joined or didn't hear it, I was 242 pounds. I'm 182, which is what I played college basketball at. My body right now is actually better than it was in college, because I was beat down, always injured. Not always injured, but when you play college sports, your knees are always hurting, or you always got something going on. My body right now is better than it's ever been. Visually, like, before I got in shape, I felt like a booger, just being honest. Now, like, my wife walks by and she's like, always like, oh, look, you know, she's always grabbing me.
Cat
like,
calling you.
I feel like a piece of meat.
That's right. That's right. You sexy old son.
Bless her heart.
But, you know, here's the deal, guys. We're this age where we have all this access to knowledge, right, and information. Right. And we all know now that, you know, whether you believe in global warming or not, blah, 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 all this stuff. But here's the deal. We know pollution is going up. We know there's more toxins in the air. We know there's a bunch of crap in the water we drink. We know there's a bunch of, and forgive me for drinking this, but, you know, this is my body. I drink one of these maybe every couple months, but it tastes great. There's stuff that's attacking our body, and this is why I'm passionate about this. Our body, think about this, forget my body, your body, the person who listens to this, your body is the only thing that allows you to enjoy all the things you like to enjoy in this dimension. Yeah. We all know we're spirit in a body, right? Without our body, you can't hear the voice of your daughter, of your son, the one you love so much. Yeah. Without our body, you can't look at your wife or your significant other in the eyes and tell them you love them. Without the sense of touch, you can't pet your dog and enjoy that. You got all these things, and it's only our body that allows us to do that. So when we look at the life that we live in today, in 2020, all these toxins and pollutants that are attacking us, you know, and knowing how important water is, and now that you know what Kangen water does for you, because I didn't know. I was ignorant. I was thinking, hey, my Essentia or Fiji water, I'm doing my thing, you know, or taking vitamins. I was ignorant. Now I know. Now you know. To me, it's essential. It's an essential part of your defense mechanism for your body, the thing that allows you to enjoy the things that you love in this dimension on Earth. So what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to get a machine. And, you know, I don't know how I'm not going to talk about it, but, you know, because I know the difference that it makes. And because I'm so passionate about the body, like one of my mottos is change your body, change your life. Because if you change the things that you have to go through to change your body, really is up here, is your mind and your mindset. So I've always believed that the biggest attack, the biggest danger that you have as body fat is being obese, is being fat, because you're carrying all these toxins, right? Yeah. So that's why I believe that getting the fat off your body, getting lean. I don't mean getting big and gunned up. I mean, people that see me think without my shirt think I'm a lot bigger than I am, but I weigh 182 pounds. I just don't have any body fat. I'm 10%, maybe less. So I believe that getting the fat off, because of all the toxins that your fat carries, because of the risk for cardiac disease, risk for stroke, cancer, everything else, it's paramount. And one last thing though, what I discovered Kangen water does to facilitate all that. Whether you're thin or fat, Kangen water is going to do some amazing things with the electricity in your body, with the hydrogen in your body. And we didn't even talk about the antioxidants, which blew my mind, Sean, when you told me about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's the ORP meter that Jay John was talking about earlier.
Okay. ORP.
That's the ORP, oxidation reduction potential. And again, in the context of researching this, if you want to look it up.
Jay John, I don't know if
hit up me, but you know, it's go to Google Scholar or PubMed.gov and just type in the subject box ERW water, electrolytically reduced water. That's where you're going to get the truth. That's where you're going to get real scientific proof behind anything that the alcoholic uncle in the family says, oh, this ain't nothing. You know, meanwhile, he's broke, he's unhealthy as anybody, and he's telling everybody that this isn't legit. So it's that kind of mentality.
So Jay John, I don't know if that answered your question, but for me, I got to get a machine. And, you know, for anybody, Sean, you and I were talking earlier, you know, for anybody that's, you know, we are all in different places in our lives. And sometimes we're not, like I talk to people about health and wellness, and some of those people are obese. Some of those people are maybe not morbidly obese, but I know a lot of obese people. And you know what? It's like my message just goes right over their head because they're not ready for it. Just like I wasn't ready for it when my wife would say, baby, you know, I'm worried about you need to start doing something about your health. Yeah. But for those people that are ready, if you have the ears and you're ready to hear it, I don't believe there is a better medical treatment. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving any medical advice. It was like a disclaimer thing, but I believe that Kangen water, it's probably the best thing you could ever spend money on for your health.
Yeah. And just to handle that, Mike, if I may, and it doesn't require anything medical, nothing treatment, nothing to do with a pill, nothing to do with any magic motion. It's just, you know, it's like we talked earlier. If our bodies are made of electricity, if we're electrical beings, as Ian would say, then why not? Doesn't it make sense to drink electrical water? And it's trying not to get too many worlds caught up. Medicine has evolved because of our inability or unwillingness to address our own wellness and investigate what's on our food, what's in our water, what's in the sky, what's in the environment, what we're breathing, what we're eating. We're not paying attention to that. So if we want to stay kind of somewhat even in our little oblivious bubble, at the very least, get the Kangen at the foundation of what we're doing. Yeah. And then let the other stuff grow. Let that grow as you come. But
Yeah, and I think I don't think everybody's oblivious to. I think some people are very health conscious. They're just not aware of this. I mean, our family is very health conscious. My wife's been very health conscious, and over the years, there's a lot of things that we've done. We felt that other people weren't doing. It's just cutting edge for us. But I just was not aware. And I've heard the word Kangen before. I actually had a client when I was in financial services, and she would always talk about Kangen water, but I wasn't ready for it. I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
But now I get it all the way. So.
Word. You were talking earlier about getting all that stuff out of your body. I just wanted to touch on the fact that think about what we had earlier. If we have bad water source and stuff, we're always trying to think, what do? Filter our water. Reverse osmosis is the ultimate filter. If we're not filtering our water properly, if we're not filtering our diet properly, if we're not filtering metaphorically and literally in our life, our body is the filter. That's what's storing up in the fat. It's those toxins. That's what's storing up in the colon because we're too dehydrated to eliminate it. Our body's the filter. So if we can take pressure off of that filter by allowing this to kind of cleanse or, douche our filter, flush us out. I mean, you're talking about changing your plugs and wires, back to the car analogy. It's all just we're really trying to leave this truth movement about Kangen to just horse sense. You get in a tight spot. You ever ride horses? You get in a tight spot, you don't know what to do. Sometimes you just got to let him or her go because they'll know what to do in a tight spot. And that's just horse sense. That's up here in Montana. That's how we put it together. That's all we're trying to appeal to. We're not trying to convince anybody of nothing. And Magic's been around. You talked about your motto, change your body, change your life. Their motto since 1974 has been change your water, change your life. So there's so many similarities about change your water, change your body, change your life. You know what I mean? We can make that the hat trick. We could coin that ourselves, man. We might have to patent that one. But anyway, I just had to kind of clarify some of those things because again, I think we're just on the right track and we're trying to expose this to people with listening ears. We're trying to throw passes to people that got their hands up and want to catch something and run it to the ends up,
Yeah, so, I wanted to say another thing because we were talking about that, and I was thinking about it earlier. If it's something that somebody wants to get, I know there's 3 different models and they have different price points, but I guess you and I were talking, Sean, that if you look at all the uses that you get from the machine, from disinfectant to being able to replace things like Clorox or use it in your laundry, mouthwash, use it for beauty, all the different settings on there and all the different levels of pH water. If you think about, and you really, I would encourage people to do their own analysis. I did this because I'm a financial guy by trade. And if you look at all the costs of everything that you're spending already on a monthly basis, all the things I talked about, household cleaning products, mouthwash, laundry detergent, all these things, and bottled water, and you add up the cost of all that, you're saving money by doing that. But the biggest thing, the biggest expense that you can have is your health. And for those of you that are health conscious, you add that piece on top of it, for what it's doing for your health to help you live more abundantly, but also what it's doing to keep you from other potential illnesses and things that you could get had you not been drinking the electric antioxidant water, hydrogenated water. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you're making money on a thing. It truly is an investment for your family. It's an investment for my family that I'm actually excited about. And the longer I had the machine, I was like, my eyes were just opening.
Can I address that just directly? Yeah. Look, man, we've got a sheep too, and it's the Molnar family put one together. Him and his wife, 2 kids, and I think 3 dogs, 3 pets. Saving over $3,200 or $3,167 or something. I've had that sheet for years. I started doing the math when I was married. Me and the kids, little kids, they were under 10, and our one dog we were literally saving about 275 to sometimes 300 a month, depending on if we had to get an extra bottle of bleach or, whatever would you dial in with every once in a while. But it was around $3,300 to $3,400 a year. So I've had this machine 11 years now. You do the math and you realize that, okay, then what in the hell's Wetzel done with that extra, $26,000 he saved? Now, over the course of that period of time, it doesn't seem like that much. But you look at how broke people are. You look at how many people are struggling financially. You look at the economy's booming, things are going, but you look at how people are struggling to get by on things. Just that extra $250, $300 a month we're not spending for the rest of our lives is a leg up. I mean, you'd avoid 85% of the bankruptcies in this country if someone just had 500 extra bucks a month. And this isn't even from selling the machines. I never intended on selling them. I wanted to save money. I wanted to feel better because, I went through my deal and I had to figure out the guy that I was sending. 2 people wanted to buy machines within the first 2 weeks. I called the guy that sold me mine. He had to help me understand I could sell it. So it was just, you're talking about saving money and feeling better for the rest of your life. And like Jay John already says, we're already spending, how do you say that, Jay John?
Kong doesn't cost.
Yeah.
She pays.
She pays. No, because we're already spending more money than it costs for Congan, but we're not getting the benefits of having her by our side. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. People are already paying for this machine. They're just not getting the benefits of it.
So the cost.
That's a powerful statement, man. I mean,
that's it.
You look at, like, back in the day, I was going to every morning going to Starbucks and getting the venti mocha with extra pumps in it. I mean, what was that doing for my health?
$6, $7 cup of coffee too,
So, Mike, I want to bring something. I want to circle back around to where we were a little while ago, because this is great discussion. I love all this, and I think it's going to be really helpful for people. You were wondering why this is a medical device. Why do they call this thing a medical device? Why do they say that it's a medical device? Well, there's actually a couple of reasons. And one of them, the first one that I want to jump into is the plates. And this is something that's really important because there's a bunch of so-called competitors out there.
Leeches.
If people, we love to call them the leeches because that's what they do. They leech off of Kangen water. And if somebody searches on Google for Kangen water, like the first 4 things or so, first half page that comes up is people that don't have anything to do with Kangen water. They're just selling all these, they're just taking it, and they pay a lot of money to be up there. But
they're using the name.
Yeah, and so one of the things that makes this thing a medical device is the plates. The plates, the titanium and
the ionization chamber.
They're medical grade titanium, and they are double dipped in medical grade platinum. Well, what's the difference between titanium and medical grade titanium? Well, the difference is this. Medical grade titanium is pure. It has to be, in order for it to be medical grade, it has to be pure titanium. It can't have any
impurities,
additives,
impurities
in it.
Alloys.
With the platinum has to be pure. There are no impurities in it whatsoever. Like your gold ring on your finger, that's whatever percent gold, and the rest is impurities, right?
Mm-hmm.
With medical grade titanium, medical grade platinum, it has to be pure. And Nagic uses medical grade titanium plates that are solid, and they are double dipped in medical grade platinum. Okay, so there's your first difference. That's one of the reasons why it is a medical device. The second reason is because of the electrolysis enhancer. We have this electrolysis enhancer tank that either goes in on the bottom on the K8 or on the side of the other ones or on the back of the Super, and it infuses salt water into the system. That the salt water with the electricity, with the water, with the minerals, it creates this medical grade water. That's why we have the 11.5 water that you can clean your house with, that you can clean off your 3.5-year-old generator that's been sitting in your fossil quarry for 3 years, getting dirty and greasy and everything else, and you can clean it off with that. That's why it emulsifies oil. That's why you can use it to clean your bathroom, clean your tub, clean your fixtures, clean all your stuff. And then the 2.5 water, this is where it really comes in, is the 2.5 water. That is the world's most powerful disinfectant. And all these other companies, this is important. You're gonna be happy that we talked about this, because as you go out there, once you get your machine, you start talking to people, they're gonna see these other leeches who say that our machine makes bleach, and you better have your windows open when you're running it, because it'll kill you.
It's gonna poison you.
Nonsense. And the thing is that this water that comes out at it's called hypochlorous acid, and it is created because of the fact that we are putting this salt water into the equation, and out the bottom is coming this 2.5 pH, very acidic water that literally kills every pathogen that they have ever put it up against within 2 minutes. Most everything within 30 seconds, but there's
Versa, E. coli, salmonella, crazy stuff.
Everything.
AIDS, herpes.
And I want to give everybody, this is my personal story, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm going to tell you guys this because I think this is super important. Because I woke up on Christmas Eve last year, just this last Christmas Eve. I woke up on the couch, I fell asleep, and I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up with a sore throat. And we've all had that, where you're like, oh no, oh. And you feel that. You feel your throat, and it hurts. There's pain doing this. And then you swallow your saliva, and it hurts. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh no, this is going to be like a week of being sick. This is going to be flu. This is going to be whatever it's going to be. But oh no, this is no good, right?
It's never ended well to this point.
Yeah, you're not thinking good things when you wake up with a sore throat that you didn't have before you fell asleep. And so I got up and I went and did what I always do every night before I go to bed. Tonight I will be doing it again. Every night before I go to bed, I have this 14-ounce glass mug. And this is just what I do. I don't care what everybody else wants to do. They can do whatever they want to do, but this is what I do. I go into my machine, I hit my strong acidic button, and I run that water for a few seconds, and then I slow it down, and I get myself 28 ounces, two 14-ounce glasses of the 11.5 as it's coming out the top. And this is what I did that night. I filled that baby up, I drank it down, and as I drank it down, it hurt because I had a sore throat, and it was painful to drink down that 14 ounces. I filled it back up again, and I reached over with another glass and stuck it under the bottom hose to collect some of that 2.5 water. And I guzzled down that second glass, and then, of course, I changed my thing to the 9.5 water. I pulled that thing out of there, my 2.5 water. After I guzzled down 28 ounces of 11.5, then I gargled for like 30 seconds. I took a mouthful of the 2.5. I put it in a mouthful, threw it back, spit it into the tub. Did it again, another mouthful, spit it into the sink. I did it 3 times. And then the last one, the 4th time, I took a smaller mouthful, I gargled it, and then I slowly let it go down my throat. I swallowed it. This so-called bleach that the leeches say, oh, their machine makes bleach. Oh, no, be scared, right? And then I went to bed. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and my sore throat was gone.
God.
And that whole sore throat thing that normally would have been a week of misery was some sniffles, a little bit of nose and blowing my nose and such like that for the next day or so. But that sore throat was gone. And so that's not to say that's why this is a medical device. I just wanted to tell you that that's what happened for me. I've used this water for so many different things with my cats, and because we have cats, and we've used it to get rid of abscesses. I've used it for toothaches and earaches and in my eyes. And the reason why this is called a medical device is because of that 2.5 water and because of the plates and what they're made of. And nothing else out there in the world is anything like it. You know, we have this company, we have this product that everybody in the world needs, that at this point hardly anybody has.
Less than half of 1% of the population.
Right here in America, we're at 0.5% market penetration here in America right now. And then the third thing is that there's no competition. Zero. There's nothing like this in the world.
And
nothing.
Can I throw number 4 out there?
Please.
And people are looking for the truth. People are desperate for the truth. People are realizing that the allopathic machine, the business of medicine is failing them. They've seen enough commercials with pretty people trying to pimp this drug or that drug. And at the end of the day, to me, that's the fourth part of that. That's the home run of that whole equation. You know, I think the timing is right, you know, so that's why it's always good to have this scene going on.
Yeah.
So, Michael, you want to wrap anything up before we up with the bow?
I do want to say that I want to thank you guys for having me on, allowing me the opportunity. Sean, thank you so much for sharing the machine with me. It really has changed my understanding of water and the importance of it. It is from this point forward a critical part of my program, Easy Physique. Anybody I talked about that, water will be a primary conversation we have. I did want to show you guys just kind of a before and after, because I know some people, we've been on for a while, and we started off, I talked about my transformation. I went from 242 pounds down to about 180, 182, which I'm at right now. And so I want to show you guys just some pictures, kind of a shameless plug. But I think you really go hand in hand, get lean, stay lean, but also the water is a critical part of that journey. So,
hey, Mike, before you do this,
yes,
I would love for you to share, when you're done sharing your before and after pictures, I would love for you to share all of your contact information. Whatever
so
contact information you want to give to our audience, I would love for you to share it with them, so that anybody that sees this, that they want to get in touch with you, that they can. So
they want an easy
whatever
physique.
you want, all of it, phone numbers, websites, everything, anything.
Yeah,
put it out there, brother, because I want anybody that, if they resonate with you, I want them to get their machine from you and work with you. And I don't even care if they're people that I've been following or whatever.
I know.
Care. I don't care how people get their machine. I just want them to get it. If they resonate with you, I want them to get it with you. So give all your information after you're done with your before and after. Then give everybody your contact information, and I want to get it too, so that we can friend up and continue to work together as time goes by.
Well, thanks for that.
Show me your fatty.
So I'm going to give you the quick run. So remember, folks, I went from 242 to down to 180, 182. And in the process, I came up with my own program that I thought would, I had non-negotiables. Didn't want to be in the gym 5 days a week, working out 2 hours a day. I didn't want to be on some fad diet, although I did the keto diet, and I consider that honestly fat, but it worked. It worked for me for where I was. But at the end of the day, I didn't like the way I looked, And I didn't like the restriction. I just couldn't see myself, me personally, eating like that the rest of my life. It's just what it was. And I did it all out. So I didn't want to do a fad diet, and I didn't want to be in the gym jumping around, injuring myself. Like,
On a
I fit
treadmill for
I
an
didn't
hour
want
and
to
a
be,
half a day.
yeah, I didn't want to be doing CrossFit. And I know it's a great program, but just where I'm at in life, I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to look great in clothes. I wanted to be healthy. And the third thing, I wanted to look better without clothes. So, so I came up with my program, which is called Easy Physique, and it's the letter E, the letter Z is a zebra, and the word physique. If you go to Facebook groups, look up Easy Physique, you can request to join. There's some questions on what your challenges are. If you leave those questions, I can help answer those for you. So I'm going to show you kind of the before and after. And the after picture in this is probably now about 3 months old, but I don't know if you guys can see this, but.
Oof. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Man. Yeah. That old brother on the right with the salt and pepper beard looks like the cat that I remember rolling out of the University of Montana back in 1988.
Yeah, man. And so in the middle of my flu, I took this picture. This picture is 3 days old now.
Yeah.
So
you bad old son B.
So let me tell you something about this. Just so you know, I only work out twice a week. I've done in the last probably 30 days no cardio. Usually I walk. I'll get out and walk and stuff. Did none of that, and it's been mostly the way that I do my diet. I know people hear that, but I've got this technique and this system that I use. It's easy. It's dialed in. I eat the foods I want. I don't eat junk all the time, but if I wake up tomorrow and I want pizza, I'm going to have pizza. If I want a burger, I'll have a burger. But I know what my body's energy requirements are. And there's a couple other techniques I use. I do fast. And I'm telling you, I still to this day wake up and can't believe that I'll wake up, like if I have to go, sometimes I wake up at 4 a.m, have to go pee because I drank a bunch of Kangen water. And,
so you're right.
And I'll turn the light on. I'll look in the mirror. I'm still used to seeing the fat guy. And I look over, I go, dang, I'm like, that's so cool. I was the guy going to the pool with a t-shirt on. Now I'm not worried about that. So, so anyway, that's my story, my before and after. I'm so thankful to learn about anything that aligns with my passion and Kangen. I mean, it totally meshes and goes perfectly with that. For anybody that's having a challenge, and here's the deal: the information is out there, it's free, but here's the problem, and it's the problem I faced. The problem was there's so much confusing crap out there because people want to dress up the truth and wrap it up so they can make money off of it, right? So, there's no secret there. Diet's been out there forever. Exercise has been out there forever. But then all these fad diets come along and, your body, the cavemen didn't eat carbs or whatever.
Blood type diet. Yeah.
Blood type. It's all out there, man. But at the end of the day, it's all meant to confuse you, to make you divert back to, I do need those guys. It's meant to, I got to go join that expensive gym to use that expensive piece of equipment to get lean and get in shape. No, you don't. You should be able to be thin without almost doing no exercise, to be honest with you, if you go back to the way most Europeans look. So all of that, without me getting in a long thing on how the program works, is basically the foundation of it. And I've simplified that. That's why it's called Easy Physique. I've simplified the diet. I've simplified the workouts. I've simplified everything. So this thing works seamlessly. So much to the point, my wife's like, I cannot freaking believe how lean you are and how great you look. And I don't see you working out. I see you eating all the food you want. And then it trips me out. I'm like, you're right. I'm eating what I want. I'm eating pizza, but I eat healthy, but I can still eat those things. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me on Facebook. It's Mike Ahlers. In the Facebook group, there's a free Facebook group I have. You just look under groups, look up the letter E, the letter Z, as in zebra, physique, one word, takes you right to the group. You can reach me by phone, 210-542-0077. Just text me.
What was that? Hey, slow down. What was that number again?
Area code 210.
210.
Yes, 542.
542.
0077.
0077. There you go, kids. See,
and then the email.
You get to.
My email address is really easy. It's oh my gosh. Now,
It's so easy, he forgot.
Because it's, let me just double check it. It's help.easyphysique@gmail.com.
Help dot easy
Yeah.
physique.
Help, which is HELP dot easy physique, the letter E, the letter Z, physique @gmail.com.
HOPE.
No, HELP.
Help.
HV. V is in Victor.
J. John. Hey, Helen.
Yeah.
HELP. Help.
Oh, help.
Yeah, we call him Helen because the brother can be blind and deaf half the time too, man.
My nickname is Helen because I am deaf and blind. But so help at Easy Physique.
Help dot easy physique @gmail.
Easy. And then for those who are, is it PHYSIQUE?
Yeah.
Is that physique?
Yep. Yeah, PHYSIQUE.
Yeah, that's I thought I had it spelled right, but I figured I might as well clarify.
Well, you never know what that great education system in the wonderful state of Utah is going to do to somebody, man. So it's always good to clarify. Always good.
The easiest thing to do, guys, is just reach out to me through Facebook. Just look for this. Yeah. This is my. So I've got. So I've got this picture. That's me. So that's the easiest way, and and I'm all about the truth and keep it simple because, just like with Kangen water, it's simple, it's pure, and I believe. That's what I love about it. And it works seamlessly with what I have as a philosophy for getting lean and staying lean, which is keeping it easy. Cause you know what, especially as we get older, we have kids. I'm a dad, I have a business, I'm married, and I'm not a professional athlete, man. And I don't get off to be in the gym 2-3 hours a day, hanging with the bros. I used to be there, but not anymore, man. I'd rather spend time with my kids, my family, doing the things I love to do.
Beautiful. No, man, we're just really glad to have you on, get this whole little, trifecta going, man. J. John, go ahead, man. You go and dial in and I can wrap it up for us.
I think it's pretty cool because we still have people on the live side that are really digging this, that have been here hanging out, listening in. Marilyn, love you, honey. Glad to hear that that you're doing great and that that this is working out for you, and just so happy for everybody that gets involved with this, that finds value in this show and what we're doing, and we're just here trying to change the world, man. That's all we're doing. We're the Kong family. We're here to change the world. John, how are we doing that again?
Well, funny you should ask. I'd like to think it takes simply one glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, supremely hydrating, and now I've got to throw in also aesthetically pleasing, and it's buttery smooth delivery at a time.
Amen, brother. One lightning bolt in a box.
I'm using that one, Ahlers, man. Buttery smooth, man. That's you.
Smooth.
Mike Buttery Smooth Ahlers, number 24. Dig this cat up in the annals of University of Montana hoop history. He was there for a minute, man. No, I'm not trying to brag on you too much, but you still look like you're a baller. I bet you still could stick that nice technique, just that you had that high stroke, you had that textbook jumper, feet square, You just have a nice balance about you. I bet you could still stick that. Maybe not getting off the ground as much, but you know.
No, hey, I can still dunk. I can still dunk,
What?
bro.
Okay, I better get my shit together. Because I ain't tried nothing in 6, 7 years, man. Easy.
Now it's
So I
been a
better.
couple years, but when I was 52, I could still dunk, and I've got a video of that. So, and I was
Okay.
like 220 doing that, and now, you know, at 180,
Yeah, you're flying.
You're like right there with
Wow.
Donovan Mitchell.
no,
That's it.
no, not even close to that guy.
Hey, you
He's
guys
a
make
freak.
sure you go vote for Donovan Mitchell as an all-star, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's a baller.
Oh,
But yeah,
how
man,
about
I just
how about
think
my boy Rudy Gobert. That boy is just making havoc. He is. If he doesn't win the third straight defensive player of the year, it's going to be a shame. I mean, he is just making havoc on the court. It's classic. It's so funny. You guys see guys drive in there, they're like, whoop, nope, he's there. They turn around and go back the other direction.
yeah.
Like, Rudy's
Yeah,
in the house, boys. Guys, I
No,
love
this
you,
has been a
man.
home
Mike,
run.
I'm so excited to get a chance to meet you. I am so incredibly blessed to be part of this and have you here tonight. And I'm so excited for you that you're going to be jumping on the train and getting a machine. And I can't wait to hear and see all the people that you bring into this and all the lives you're going to change. And and I hope that as you bring people into this business, that you will encourage them to come over here to the Kong Family Show and share their story. Why? Why did they do it? Why did they get involved? How did it work out for them? Because for me, I thought it was the biggest bunch of nonsense in the world, and it wasn't until a story came across the pike that I hit that button, and that story of the beautiful, incredible angel Brittany Dykes changed my life forever. And so I'm trying to share stories, and the only way I can only share my own story so much. I need other people's stories. And so please, as you start to grow your business, as you start to change lives along the way, please bring them in here. Please encourage them to come and share their story and reach out so that we can help them help others. And it's so important.
Be the splash. Hey, look, we're just being the splash.
Yeah.
Ultimately. And hey, maybe
Nice.
4 or 5 waves down the way, someone's going to catch a little dippy-doo in that ripple. They might not know where it came from, but they're digging the wave that they just done,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. We're trying to be the splash. We're trying to do what we're doing. You've already got a thing, all that stuff. You did all that without even the water as your foundation. So that's a big kudos, man. You did it with Fred Flintstone way.
Well, water. I did have water as a big part of my foundation. It was just I didn't have the Kangen water, and you were asking me on go. Have you noticed anything? Have you noticed? And I always stuck with the buttery smooth. But then I told you, I noticed like I had this like skin stuff going on here, and my skin is pretty clear. I mean, it just like went away, and I wasn't even paying attention to that because I'm so stuck on everything else with it. But
looking crisp and clean, no caffeine, nonetheless. I like it.
Yeah. So, man, hey, any way I can contribute, if anybody has any questions of me, my experience, everybody has any health questions, just reach out to me. I'm all about helping people transform their lives and doing it through their body. There's all this other stuff you can do. I do believe the mind is where it all begins, but if you can change your body while you're changing your body, you are working on your mind. You can't do one without the other. And, the whole Kangen water thing is so, it sounds like water to some people, but it's such a, as we talked about today, it blows your mind up, but it's such a foundation to the world we live in, man. And get into the hydrogen and everything else. It's just, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, brother. I really appreciate you coming in here tonight. I'm glad that I had the time to be able to make this happen. And I look forward to following you. I'm going to send you a friend request, and I look forward to hooking up and, you know, whatever we can do. I'm looking forward to it. And,
Yeah.
you know,
It's an honor meeting you, Jay John, man. It really is. Sean was talking about you earlier. Wait till you meet my buddy, Jay John. He's the man. And he was right.
I'm just trying to do the best I can, man. I believe my mother would still be here with me today if I had known about this, and I didn't. She died going on 30 years ago, and she was on 22 different medications, and you know, it's just one of those things that I want to try and help other people and help them not have to go through what she went through, what you went through. You know, I'm one of those people. I gotta say, I read this book right here, World Without Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book that changed my life.
Wow.
And I read that clear back in 1993. And from that point on in my life, I've started looking at proactive approaches to health, and I've had a different mindset when it comes to doctors and that kind of stuff. And so this is, interestingly enough, the root of this book right here, the root of this book is in the same place on this planet as Kangen water. Same place.
Wow.
When I learned that, it was a slam dunk. It was a slam dunk when I learned that.
But you wouldn't have got that slam dunk if you weren't running the floor filling the lane, right?
That's right, man.
All right, guys, I love you guys so much. Have a great night. Look forward to working with you more, Mike. Wets. Hopefully we'll see you in the morning. Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Tomorrow morning we have got Rico coming in hot, the boy with the ultimate T-test. I cannot wait to meet this guy. We're doing 7:45 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be in the Khan Family Show right here, right in this very, very place. And you guys, do not forget your hugs. Do not forget your hugs.
It's all
and your hootie-hoos, and get the butts out there and change the world. Start with your own.
That's it.
Love you.
Hey, we had a home run tonight, man. Appreciate it. Thank you both. You guys are beautiful. Let's talk again here. We'll dial in here in the next few days, Michael. Hey,
yes, gentlemen, it's been an honor. Man. Thank you, Sean, and Jay John. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And everybody else, take care. God bless.
Right.
Hoo-hoo!
Okay, boys, giddy up. That's a wrap. Wrap it up. I'll take it. Wrap it up. Don't fake it.